What?
Holler. Gross.
Wake up, everybody. Especially Laura.
Why me?
Checking everybody.
Check.
Woohoo!
Checkity check.
Check. I can barely hear myself.
That's the point, right?
Yeah, we're trying to keep it that way.
He wants us to yell at ourselves.
I don't like screaming.
That's what we hear from Jack.
Yep. She's a silent partner.
I was leaving that open for you guys.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
It's the Drinking with Drew show. We are live.
Literally serve this shit up for you guys.
It's May 16th, 2023. We have Laura in the studio.
What's up?
We have Joseph in the studio.
What's up?
What's up, Joe?
Yep.
What's up?
And we have Garby,
Greetings.
Again.
Salutations.
straight from Georgia.
So, yep, second show of the year.
My name's Drew. It's Drinking with Drew. I'm drinking. We do have a taste test today. Joe, what'd you buy?
Angry chair.
Well, it's an angry chair, but it's a special blend of angry chair. It's a new angry chair. We'll break it out in a little bit. Don't worry about it.
Space grass.
Okay. We will break it out shortly. Trying to fuck with my audio here. I hear too many when I'm talking. So anywho, I'll mess with that throughout the show.
It'd be amazing.
Yeah. You'll hear me go up and down, you know, like you like it.
Right?
So we're going to a concert tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did you get the tickets?
No? Did you send them? I told you to talk to the
Nope.
lady. Yeah, I sent you the email so that you could contact her about getting the
No, I
VIP.
sent you an email back. I said, yeah. Or something. I said, yeah, sounds
No.
good.
No.
I thought you were
I
going
emailed her. She sent the cost, and I said, I'm forwarding you the email so you can reach out to her. Her name and contact number's there. And then you're like, oh, yep, I got it. And I was like, great, he's taking care of it.
Voivod.
Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen Voivod since, I don't know, early 90s, late 80s. It's been forever. So
It's their 40th anniversary tour.
Wow. I mean,
Yikes.
I've always been a huge fan of Voivod, but I didn't know they were actually still touring. So when I heard that, I was like, holy poodles.
And we'll get to see the new
Yeah,
State Theater.
the social.
That's now the Floridian.
Floridian social or something
like that.
stupid.
Yeah.
They used to have so many good shows there, and then it just went to shit. So, well, the guy sold it or did something, and then the new owners, I don't know what's going on with it, honestly. I used to shoot shows there all the time. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they do. A lot of hipster bands have been playing there, and they serve like craft cocktails and stuff. And that's the problem. We're going to go there. We're going to spend probably $100 and something on tickets and the VIP, and then craft beer. Well, they said you have to have, for us, it was going to be a $50 minimum bar tab.
Yep.
What does VIP get you if you don't?
It's just upstairs.
Oh.
Like, I'm too
Like,
old to be in the fucking
yeah.
crowd, bro. I don't want to
Yeah.
deal with any of that bullshit.
You get a seat. All the like regular tickets are general admission, so it's like standing
okay.
room, but you
Yeah.
can get a VIP table.
No interest in the mosh pit anymore.
No.
You know, once a year, maybe twice a year,
When you go to Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Swift.
Yeah. Speaking of which, she's going to earn like $1.5 billion
Oh my!
on her current tour.
She probably earned that just in Tampa.
Right. I was going to say she's probably earned it already.
No, that's what they're saying. 1.5 billion.
That's
She
outrageous.
recently was yelling at a security
I
guard at
know,
one
it's
of her
just-
concerts
it's
because they were
stupid.
manhandling a fan.
They weren't. She was manhandling. The guy wasn't touching the girl. He was just telling her something about photos or something with her phone. I don't know. He was just probably being adamant because he couldn't hear and he's trying to yell to the lady. And, whatever. He was escorted out of the arena by his fellow security guards.
That's amazing.
It's ridiculous.
Wow.
Well, when she's got to stop mid-song of Bad Blood
Oh, and
to yell at a security guard.
it was so funny, and nobody wants to talk about this. When she stops mid-song, the vocals are still in the background
Are you
going.
really?
Fuck yeah. I'm like, okay, Taylor Swift, you're going to fucking
Milli Vanilli.
lip sync. So,
But when she started singing again, you could hear her live vocals on top of the track. Every
I don't
singer
care if you're
that
going to
tours
fucking make
has a backtrack.
$1.5 billion per tour. Sing the fucking songs.
Yeah.
She does.
No, don't have a backtrack. Sing the fucking songs. That's why, I mean,
The only
hip-hop's-
the only exception should be if they are ill or something, and the other alternative is not doing the show.
yeah.
That's it.
You make 1.5 billion per tour.
Yeah.
Sing the fucking song.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Period. That is ridiculous.
Hmm.
So, anywho, what were we talking about? Joe, was your microphone dirty? Was it were
No,
you
it was
picking
just-
off somebody's
I was-
mustache?
I was just getting off all the dog hair that's been floating around the
Hmm.
studio.
Oh, okay.
It'll never be gone completely.
Just kind of, clean the microphone up from dog hair from time to time.
Okay, I'll bring the mic sweeper in here and we'll do a clean. We'll do a purge. I mean, every once in a while I have guests in here, but I mean,
Yeah, but-
nobody's like swallowing the microphone.
No one would know.
That
if
show's coming up.
the camera wasn't
very
on me,
true.
so no one would have even noticed.
Well, I mean, just because you're masturbating privately doesn't mean anybody's watching.
That show's coming up later too. Really, see Joe
Bro,
sitting back,
I'm
and all of a sudden something shoots up into the screen.
Speaking of which, I mean, these models, trying to get them in here for this body painting project that we were planning, it's been a
Month.
nightmare. Like, literally, they're so into it, they want to do it, and then it's like, they vanish. So I have one that is still communicating. I think the plan was to get her and a friend in here to
Right.
body paint
Yeah,
each
paint
other.
each other,
So we're trying to get that set up. I have the one. I'm hoping she hangs in there and has a friend that's just as good looking because,
Mm.
sometimes hot women hang out with not so hot women.
But
the
you're
goal
also-
is visual. We want visual entertainment here.
Right. But you're also marketing this to like bartenders as opposed to like
All the
strippers
bartenders-
who are used to being naked in front of people. You're, sure, bartenders
They
can be
know the
like
gig.
in,
They know the gig.
tiny outfits, but they're
We're gonna-
typically not nude from the waist up.
We're going to bring in one of the concrete circular tables. We're putting it right in front of Joe and Garby, and they're going to stand on the concrete table, and that's going to be their paint area.
That's a tall fucking table.
They're not no, just the base. We're bringing in the base only, not with the actual legs.
You mean the top?
The tabletop. What,
Okay.
Did I not make that clear? Sorry.
I thought you were talking like the whole table.
No. So it's going to be a concrete circular tabletop placed in the center, and we're putting it in front of the married men so they get divorced
Yeah.
like a week later.
Exactly. You need to get something that rotates so it spins the whole time.
I'll find somebody to do that maybe. I don't
There
know.
you go.
How can that happen?
Garby, that can be your job.
Yeah.
You just got the, the low
Put-
angle.
Put a Roomba there.
I'm sure we can figure that out. Did your wife just text you? Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out right now,
She,
motherfucker.
she texted me what I already knew, which is I will likely not be here for body painting.
It's going to be me and Laura.
Most likely. Yeah. Maybe Jay if he
I
flies
guess he's
down,
not back till
if he
October.
flies down for that.
Jay's special appearance for the body painting.
think-
Yeah.
So
I think Jay's wife also made it clear that he would not be participating in the body painting.
Yeah.
I think I picked the wrong.
That's a night for
I
guests.
think I picked the
guest
wrong
hosts.
co-host. I have 3 fucking married co-hosts. I need to get some like single
Yeah.
28-year-olds that don't mind.
single
Maybe-
38-year-olds.
Maybe you
Well,
just picked the
just
wrong
kidding.
friends.
That's
There
true
you go.
too.
Yeah. You need married friends that are in open marriages.
Mm. I left it.
Some,
Yeah,
some of them are open. The other half just doesn't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I left most of my open relationship friends when I was in my early 30s, late 20s. I had a few then.
They probably all settled down. Like that was probably like
Well, I know.
doing the 20s, 30s things. And now I feel like I have to be an adult, have kids,
Maybe. I don't know.
I
have
don't
a
know.
single relationship.
I don't think I've never known anybody in an open marriage, but I've known a person that cheated frequently, and I find it very difficult to believe the wife had no idea.
Yeah, I could see
And
that.
when you see that happening, what is your obligation to tell her?
None.
Right?
Don't step in
yeah.
at all. None
I mean,
is.
because then if she does know, if she already knew, but then
Doesn't
you
matter.
throw out their business out there.
Bro, I love you to
Put it
death,
away.
but if I saw your wife at a bar with a dude, I'm probably not telling you.
Oh, you dick.
I'm probably not going to get in the middle of that.
So it's not a matter of which one you're friends with, if you're friends with him or her. It's you're
I
out of
mean,
it altogether.
if I saw Laura at a bar with a guy, I probably wouldn't even tell her that I saw her. I would just be like, okay.
I mean, I'm gonna pretend I don't notice.
Record
you,
it. Record it for when it might come in handy later. Say, by the way.
you know, none of my business. People want to be happy, do their own thing. I'm not getting in the fucking middle of it. So.
And what do you do for a living?
That's being paid. I'm a mercenary. That's when you get paid
So
to
if
do
I-
shit. That's
so if I
totally
said-
Were you about to
different.
call yourself a mercenary?
Yeah.
So if I say here's $10, have you seen my wife at a bar?
My rates are 90 per hour. Yeah. I charge per hour per zero. What's it? 0.01.
You're even cheaper
Yeah.
than a hooker.
You know, I keep my clothes on usually.
But 90 an hour. I mean, isn't a good one like 300-400
An hour?
Yeah.
A good hooker.
I mean, if it's an escort,
I was
Clean
gonna say that.
one.
I was gonna say that
A clean one.
crosses hooker line into escort.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry, an escort.
somebody grab me a beer,
You're
please.
paying for their time and
We get a-
companionship.
A burr.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I got to keep my rates reasonable, I guess. You know, there's people out there more expensive than me, that's for sure. So, anywho, still trying to hook up the body paints. So we're gonna see
If
how
you
that
know
goes.
anyone, send your resume
Yeah.
in.
I mean-
I know who the
And
perfect
by resume,
person
we
would
mean
be.
topless photos.
I know who the perfect person would be.
Who?
Martha Stewart.
Nice.
We could probably get her.
And she and her friend could be Snoop Dogg.
I don't know if we want to see Snoop
I
Dogg
don't know if I
naked.
want Snoop in here, but I mean,
Yes.
not naked. I mean, I'd love to have Snoop in here. I don't know if we need his slang slinging around.
I think I'd be allowed to come to that one.
Probably.
On the bright side.
I'm sure.
You can arrive. You can.
That's the
you
one
can show
time
up,
she would
but-
probably want to be here.
You might want
Right.
to change your wording.
Yeah.
You can show up.
Right, yeah.
Magically-
I can be present.
Everybody's wife wants to be on the show that night. You know? Go figure. So,
Yeah, she's gonna be on the cover of Sports Illustrated.
She is on.
The,
it, isn't
the
she?
She's-
swimsuit edition. Not
swimsuit
even
edition.
just, yeah.
I mean, I saw
the
the
swimsuit edition.
the photos. I mean, they're nice. I mean, I would bang her. I mean, just based on the photos, you know. I mean, just
Yeah.
What I think
Well,
was a missed
she was a model.
opportunity.
I'm sure she still smells like mothballs.
No.
She's gonna be she's gonna bring cookies to the fucking bed and be like, "Can I feed you?" You know. She's still gonna have old lady mentality. She's just, you know,
Yeah.
gonna knock the cobwebs off.
With
What I-
prison
what-
street cred.
Yeah.
I think a missed opportunity would have been Betty White before she died. If she
Yeah,
would have
but-
done swimsuit, that would have been funny.
I mean, Betty White has, I think, the better attitude, flow wise. I've always enjoyed Betty White, but I don't know. Martha Stewart does have that. You think Martha Stewart, even 30, 20 years ago, most guys would have banged her. I mean,
mean,
yeah,
I think most guys are going to bang her based on this.
I mean,
the
make,
photos.
make me a sandwich
She was
afterwards.
a model.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. I mean, she's got that background. So, I mean, she's, you know. But I don't know how much Photoshop they put into the images. I don't know how much work they put into making it look, you know, they could fucking make her a CGI. Who knows?
I'm sure it's significant.
Whatever.
this could be a big practical joke, and maybe she didn't do it at all, and the whole thing is a deep fake,
Could be. Who knows?
just to prove that they can do it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I'm guessing their income from that issue's significantly dwindled. So they're
Well,
probably
it hasn't come out yet.
no. I mean the just in general the yearly
Oh.
swimsuit issue. I'm sure it's dropped
I
drastically.
mean, she's too hot to work for Victoria's Secret because you know they want plump models now. So I
No.
think Martha Stewart is probably still like what $120.
I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
At 81,
Is she 81?
She's 81. I thought she was
I thought
70.
She was 82.
82. I think 81, but 82.
No,
yeah,
she's
it's
in
about
her.
then,
She's
yeah.
in the early 80s.
Yeah,
Oh,
What?
Garby,
sure?
figure this out. I feel like she's in. Like I feel
No.
like she's
Oh,
70.
sure.
I think she's 81.
I heard 82.
Maybe. It might be.
Who
Garby,
knows?
what's the answer?
Wow, yeah, she's 82. Well,
Hey.
What?
no, she'll be 82 in August.
Okay. Well,
Wow.
me and Joe both win.
Yeah, close enough.
That is incredible.
Yep.
You and Joe know your gilfs.
Yeah.
I mean, we sit at home and study our octogenarians.
That just shows you what money will get you. Because
Right?
if she was a normal citizen, she would not look anything like that.
She could hold up her AARP card.
And that proves that she went to like a cushy prison.
Oh,
She did
wow,
not
yeah,
age.
Absolutely. No, we knew
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You know she has a hidden
A
prison tat
white
somewhere.
collar resort.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean she wasn't a white collar fucking, whatever.
Yeah.
But
I think
still.
she was in a FDC, a federal detention camp.
Right, but
Yeah.
just because you do Fed time doesn't mean it's an easy Fed time. They have different types of.
Yeah, they have different levels of security at each level.
Mhm.
So anywho, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I might get it. I mean that's probably an.
That's a collector item.
Yeah, you want to save that in the wrapper.
Yeah.
Put your condom next to it
Yeah.
in the wrapper.
Keep it sealed.
I was gonna say used wrapper or
No,
condom
no,
in the
no,
wrapper.
just,
Do you use a condom when you entertain yourself?
I still have the first condom I ever used when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
No, you don't.
The wrapper, I do.
The
Oh, the
wrapper.
wrapper.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
God.
It's in a scrapbook with like some hearts around it.
Right.
He's got
No.
it taped down with some
my
His
God.
his the little
collar.
clipping of his first haircuts right next to it too. His first baby
No,
tooth.
that-
His baby
that's
teeth.
Different location. But yeah, and by the way, she's gonna come on the show. We're gonna have a
Nice.
Drew's.
Martha Stewart.
Yeah, yeah. No, we're gonna have a Drew's exes show. So we're gonna get a couple of my exes on here.
Really?
We could just get random people and be like, Drew, yes.
Yeah, that's true.
Did
Right.
Drew
True.
screw them? Yes or no?
That's a new that's a new game on the Drinking with Drew show, Joe. Just bring in
Did
random
Drew
people from
do
Applebee.
or no?
Random people from Applebee's.
Right.
Did you hear? Yeah.
Just have to
Well,
look-
this local Applebee's you probably did 10 years ago.
that game would be
15
too
years
easy.
ago.
You just look for the ones that have despair
Hey,
written all over their
I-
face.
What?
I pride myself. I lived
just-
in
Rude.
Body glitter and shame.
Yeah.
I lived in Ybor for 10 years. Had an awesome dog that women love to approach.
Yep.
And I never took advantage of it and met a chick and like took her home and banged her just based on my cute dog and my awesomeness, of course. Never even honestly banged a bartender or a server in Ybor.
And this was before the beard.
Yeah, this was when I, was,
Because that's a game changer right there.
well, I mean, it was kind of I had a more corporate mentality, I guess, but still,
We were busy changing lives.
yeah, trying to build my business,
being a
slaving
mercenary.
away 16 hours a day. So, Joe, I thought when you pulled out, we were watching you and you got in your car and you drove around the block really quick. And then you came back like 2 minutes later. What'd you do?
So they put mail in my box that did not belong to me.
Oh,
And so-
that's such a,
Why I don't? We only have 8
Opposite.
houses. We have 8 houses on the street. Why can't it be 2, 4, 6, and 8? Why do we have to be 13,700? And so the next
don't
block
give away my
over-
address.
Right.
Joe.
I was about to be like, we are muting that shit.
The next,
Jesus.
Edit.
block over has the same numbers. Like so the next block over has the same numbers, and sometimes they put mail in my box that belongs to the next block over. So I just drove it around the block and put it in their mailbox.
We thought you may have gotten in your car and went to the neighbor's house with the kid that keeps driving up your driveway while Belle is sitting in your yard.
just to piss them off.
Well, just to be like, motherfucker, get your kid out of my driveway. Like,
No.
the Clint
No.
Eastwood.
Yeah.
They bother your driveway more than they bother me.
That's because he just wants to look at
Man,
Laura's boobs.
No.
Yeah.
For sure.
I-
For fucking sure. That
Did I? No, I didn't have a low cut shirt on. He was
You definitely
acting like
did.
a fool this weekend where I was
Doesn't matter.
about to pull a Clint Eastwood.
he's a 12-year-old kid learning about boobs.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me.
Well, then we should close the back window more often.
That's probably happening, honestly.
Jesus. Christ.
Jesus. I never thought about that. We go back there and there's a fucking little stool.
There's little fingerprints on the windows.
There's a stool by the fence. And little boogers where he's just like,
Oh, God.
got this slobber just dripping down the fence.
Is that
You
why
think
you got?
that's slobber.
Is that why
I
you put up the
know, I know.
fence?
There's
That-
additional slobber like 3 feet down.
Yeah.
Is that why you put the fence on?
No, I mean the dogs is why we got the fence, but
Sure.
yeah. I mean, but yeah, we honestly we probably shouldn't say this, but we never close that window.
No.
Rarely.
Right.
What'd you do to your microphone?
Nothing.
Speaking-
This is literal. I've done nothing. I have not touched a single cord. This is just the shit you give me.
Speaking of fences and snooping neighbors, when we moved into not the house we're in now, but the one before that, we had this older couple living on the one side of us, and this guy, anytime we had a pool, and anytime Amaya went swimming or whatever, this guy suddenly had yard work to do in the back. I mean, consistently. He was probably in his mid 70s.
What's his name?
And,
Joe.
yeah. So I was like, this is crazy. It was crazy. She could not go out there without that guy suddenly showing up to do yard work and stuff. So decided we have to get a fence. So we get a fence, and then for the next 3 months, his roof needed so much
Are you
maintenance.
serious?
I swear to God, dude. Every time. Oh, I got to clean these leaves off my roof. It's a coincidence your wife's out
There's
there.
a single leaf on the roof. I got to get up there.
Oh my! It was unbelievable.
That's hilarious.
So finally, he couldn't handle it anymore. They just moved.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they moved. I guess he couldn't handle getting up on the roof, so he's like, I got to move somewhere without a
Gosh.
fence.
That's hilarious.
Oh my God! Yeah.
You should have gone out there in your Speedo just to kind of give him something to look at.
I went out there without anything.
There you
Two
go.
times, see what it did. But I didn't get the same response she did.
Or did you and you just don't
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
He
Yeah.
took it inside
Yeah,
afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're trying to fix Laura's microphone.
I told you it was off, or it's
You're-
picking it up. It's
Well, I
showing
mean,
me
you're
it's picking
there.
it up.
You're
I can
just-
barely hear it though.
No,
I'm just used to being loud in my ears, I
No,
guess.
I'm
I can
fixing
hear you
your,
pretty loud
I'm
here.
fixing the static that's in your microphone, not your audio.
Oh well, then I don't
levels.
know.
Maybe that'll fix it. So yeah, I don't know, man. Like, do you blame guys like that though? You would probably do the same if you had a hot chick and you were. Was he married?
He was, but again, he was, probably in his
I know women
mid-70s
that
and-
purposely go out in their bikini
To
and
get the
mow the
attention.
lawn just to
Sure,
get the attention.
Sure. She, she's not like that.
One of them's been on this show a couple times.
Which one is that?
Not me. I won't even lay
Is it-
out in the
is it-
backyard
is
like
it-
in a bathing suit because the creepy ass neighbors are 2 stories and
Is
they
it
can
one I've
see
been on the
from the
show with?
window.
Probably.
No, I don't think she's been on since he's been here.
Macy?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, I've not been on with Macy.
No?
Mm-mm.
Thought you have. Okay.
Macy Gray.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That one.
I try to walk away.
Hold on, no, you gotta do it again.
Oh, speaking of which, I thought you were going to do your Trump impressions real quick.
The quotes. I don't do an impression. I do not
Man,
do an
but
impression.
that's such. I mean, yeah,
That's
such a good skit.
I know. So yeah, who's next after Martha Stewart? I think that's gonna be like need to be their own magazine maybe, but I don't know, maybe not. But I think somebody else will come out and be like, oh, I can do it too.
Like older or just something completely different than what they've done
You know,
before?
like
Because she's
Michelle
the oldest
Obama.
one.
Like Vanna White.
Yeah, Vanna White would do it in a
She
heartbeat.
already, she already did. She's done
Oh, she-
Playboy before.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
but
true,
recently,
yeah.
when's the last time she did that?
30 years ago?
No, was it that long?
Probably in
I
the
think it was
80s.
Vanna White.
I think-
maybe
She's in
early
her
90s.
70s.
I think I was in high school.
Okay, how long ago was that?
20 years.
Yeah. You feel old now,
Mm.
don't you?
Yeah,
Well,
I did.
she's not.
20.
Who's older, Vanna White or Martha Stewart?
I think
Martha
I think,
Stewart.
I think Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Vanna White's got to be like early 70s,
Yeah, I think so. I think she's around the same age as Pat Sajak, and yeah, he's the early 70s as well.
72, 73.
Well, the oldest dog turned 31.
Yeah, in
So-
Portugal.
Which magazine is he going to be on?
Yeah. I maybe model with, put them together. I don't know.
Pooch and hooch.
Pooch,
There you go. Nice.
Pooch and Hooch.
That's a good one.
Yeah. What
I
kind
heard
of-
that all he eats is human food. He doesn't eat dog food. He only eats human food.
for his whole life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
What kind of dog was it?
It was some like foreign dog name. It looks like a chocolate lab mix, but it's a specific or isn't it from Argentina? It's like an Argentinian
Yeah, it's,
dog breed that I couldn't tell you if I read it in front. Like it's one of those.
And it was in Portugal.
Okay, whatever. One
Yeah.
of those weird.
Yeah. Okay.
The Americans that don't live as long.
Mhm.
Right.
Do you want your dog living longer than you though? I mean,
Well, do you think we're going to die before 31?
Well, it's
Maybe.
like a lot of these people buy tortoises. And they don't realize the tortoises live to be like 85
yeah.
years
200.
old. Yeah.
Mhm.
And when they buy them, the smart people who sell them are like, who are you giving this to when you die?
Right.
Exactly.
And they're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
They're
My
like,
sister is gifting her tortoise to me, but she's
you're going to be dead way before.
she's only 11 years older than me. So I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do with it when I'm 90 years old until I,
That's why you want my house. Just for the tortoise.
yes.
what kind of pet is a tortoise?
I've had one. I mean, they're
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 cute.
They're not like a puppy that's jumping in your lap, but I mean, they're when you walk out, they run up to you.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
You can hand feed them like cactus
that, yeah.
pads and they
Yeah.
will
I mean, they
literally,
know
they're
you're
so
there.
cute. Yeah.
They'll follow you around the yard. I mean, they're
Mm.
acceptive to you being there, but they're not going to lick your face or anything.
All right.
Well, you would hope they wouldn't.
Maybe somebody wants some turtle
Mm.
licks.
I mean, they're low maintenance, so.
No,
Not really.
not really.
No, I mean,
no.
you can't leave them. You can't leave them alone.
Bro, they will dig under a fence and be
Mhm.
gone. They will.
I just
they
meant, like-
require a heat lamp.
They have a
Not
very
No,
strict
I-
diet. A very strict diet.
I just meant you can like leave them,
like go out of town.
go out
in
of
the
town.
I,
Maybe a
No.
day or two.
I wouldn't trust them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just
Wow.
they're diggers. They're
well, yeah,
wanderers.
they're
like
diggers for sure.
Mhm.
But
What does your sister do with it while she travels?
Well, she is able to work from home.
She has a
She
purse?
has
they put
no.
turtle purse.
When she comes down to Florida and stays for a while, she will just rent a car and then she will fast it for the 2 days that she's driving. And when she gets back home, she has this huge like outside rooftop
Why
patio.
fast it? You pull it to a freaking rest
Well, because
area
she
and let it
doesn't-
eat
Yeah.
grass.
yeah,
Well, first of all, very strict diet. She literally this tortoise
All
eats
they
better
need to do is
than
eat
any of
grass.
us. No. And also too, she doesn't want to be driving and all of a sudden the tortoise takes a big dump in the car while she's driving and then, it's one of those things.
Tortoise poop.
They're fine to fast for a couple of days. Apparently they're supposed to fast every once in a while, but
I mean, what kind of car does she have? Just put it in the trunk and have like an opening for like a
she just rents whatever. Like she gets
put
like
it in
an
a dog
SUV.
crate.
She does. That's what it is. But can't be too big inside of a car.
But when she's down here, like, does she stay with your other sister? Does she?
Yeah. She stays with her other sister and she pretty much takes her out during the day. She's out in the sun doing her thing, roaming in the backyard. And then at night she comes inside and she's in a dog crate so that she's not wandering and going throughout the house. And then at night she goes back outside.
this feels like way too much tortoise talk.
Yeah.
And it's not even on my pamphlet.
It's not even on the pamphlet.
But
It's
serious,
not on the
They did not
pamphlet.
make it
serious
peaceful.
question though: if a tortoise has a hard shell, and you overfeed the tortoise, like, do they get fat? Do they lose weight? Like, is there like?
There's,
I mean, we get fat, we expand, we go on a diet, we lose a couple of pounds.
They just
What's-
I
what
think
is
their
it on the
shell
front?
gets over calciated or calciumed. How do they
They
call
probably
it?
get little pudgy pockets in between their legs in the
Yeah.
shell. Little
that's
pudgy
what
pockets.
we told Cherie. They just get a new shell. They pull a new shell off the hanger
Oh, that's so funny.
and throw it on. It's
So, I mean-
simple.
It's not a hermit crab.
Yeah.
Simple.
Me and Garby used to work with a lady, and she
She's a national treasure.
national treasure.
Does that mean gullible?
You know,
That's one of her many benefits.
yeah. But Garby was able to convince her that when turtles want to change a shell, they can just swap them out, and she fucking totally believed it.
And Drew Little did a little Photoshop with
Yeah.
tiny hangers, an ad for tiny hangers.
Ridiculous.
Oh my God.
But
Yeah, it was
She probably taught her kids that, and her kids went to school, and the teacher's like, "Oh Jesus."
she also wore the same thing every fucking
yeah.
day.
She was like Batman. She just had
Yeah.
a closet of the same
Yeah.
outfit.
Black skirt,
But yeah,
black sweater.
she's amazing.
My mama.
We
said,
had
My mama said alligators are angry because they have all those teeth and they ain't got no toothbrush.
Yeah,
We
she would pull up early, sit in her Volkswagen VW Bug, and smoke like
Pack.
literally packs just
Yes.
even before going into work.
Yeah.
And what's funny is her car got stolen one time, and she said she was called by the police department to come pick her car up.
The guy died of emphysema.
Hey, don't make fun of her. She's probably one of our
But-
9 fans.
The cops get there and they had the trunk open and they had all these sex toys in the back, and they're like, "Are these yours?" And she's like, "Yeah."
They really weren't. She just wanted the sex toys when she saw them.
I'll claim them. Right.
The job I worked at her before that one, a buddy and I had convinced her that it was illegal to have cows outside in Florida. And she's like, "No, I see them everywhere." I was like, "Have you seen hookers on the street before?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Those aren't. That's not legal." She said, "Oh yeah." She was like, it's like, why is it illegal? We just, it's fun. She's special.
Yeah. We need to get in touch with her.
Yeah, I miss her.
Maybe
So-
she'll do the body paint for you.
Tell her to call in. What's the number? 877-2255?
We're at 39 minutes already. Come on, y'all.
What?
We haven't even reached 5 things on the pamphlet yet.
So
Good
let's get to
Lord.
the list.
That tortoise stuff's going viral, so I
Yeah.
don't know why you're
Right?
worried about your pamphlet.
Yeah.
So the Bucks odds 1 in 10. That's what DraftKings is rating them this season.
1 in 10 for what?
To make it to the Super Bowl or the playoffs?
Win 1 game, lose 10.
Well, they play 17.
Well, that's what I heard. 1 in 10. What the fuck does that mean then?
I'm not real sure.
I think he's reading the ratio wrong.
Bro, I listened to 3 different radio stations today. Every single one of them said their odds were 1 to 10. So maybe it's just a betting odd. Like, I don't know.
I'm gonna find out right now.
I thought just by hearing that, I thought it meant win 1 game, lose 10. But you make more sense. They play 17 games, so that obviously isn't it. But,
Maybe that's the odds of them making to the playoffs.
Right.
okay. I don't know. But
Yeah,
I mean, there's
don't know.
32 teams, so right? That puts them at the top
Sure.
Oh,
Who's-
oh.
top 90%.
what does it mean, Greg?
The closest thing I found is from 2020
Oh, well, that doesn't help.
when they signed Antonio Brown. Their Super Bowl odds went to 10-1.
Okay, so maybe it's odds to get to the Super Bowl.
No way. It's
No.
at 10-1. No
No.
way.
1 to 10.
1 to 10.
Yeah,
1 to 10.
opposite. Yeah. Low chances.
Yeah, they're not. They're assuming that they're not going to do well this year.
That would be more like 500-1.
Really?
Yeah, because the way it works is you say if for every dollar you bet, if the Bucks go to the Super Bowl, you win $500. So the higher that first number is, the
The payback.
worse they're saying that team is. Yeah, the better the payback because it's such a long shot.
Okay.
1 to 10, that would mean they're playing high school teams for the Super Bowl.
Okay. Well, that's all I heard on the radio.
Because that would mean you would have to bet $10 just to win 1,
Mm.
which means
Okay.
it would be very, very likely they're going to win. So the odds makers don't want to pay out.
Somebody can call in at 1-877-225-DREW and explain this
Somebody,
shit to
somebody
us,
that
huh?
said 1 to 10. I want to know. I want to talk to that person. No, because the Bucks are going to be terrible. They're over under for their win total is 6.5, I believe. Last I checked,
Mm.
which is one of the worst 3 in the league. So
Brady's not going to come out of retirement again.
no,
No.
not for the Bucks.
No, if
No,
anything,
he's
go to
done.
Miami.
Well, he's talking about buying a piece of the Raiders now too.
Well, he bought a female or the women's.
He bought a
league.
female.
He bought a lady.
He learned
bought a
from
women's
Robert
team.
Kraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did buy a women or bought stake in. I don't know how they. Whatever.
Yeah,
He's a co-owner, which I don't know.
He's
they're-
supposedly trying to hook up with Kim Kardashian.
No, that was false.
no way.
What?
No, that was
Was it
officially
part of the
made.
Durham report?
That was officially
False.
officially
fake news.
made false news today per late Brady's
Fake
people.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I
are
don't mind.
are you tipping at automated cash registers?
No,
God,
negative.
no.
This is like a new thing now. Apparently, they want you to tip when you go in, and you like nobody's helping you, and you have to.
Do you
pay
mean the
automatic.
self checkout
Yeah,
tip?
self checkout. They want you to like. A lot of them are popping up with tips.
How?
Because
Who-
they're putting tip on everything now.
Well, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
tip any
It's ridiculous.
the stuff that you would never have thought of tipping, like drive-through windows.
Yeah,
Never would have tipped that
Yeah.
10 years ago. But the little
See-
slips can have it. They're taking advantage of people.
I use QuickBooks, and QuickBooks has an option to add tip into your preferences, which
Mhm.
I have it in there just because we are we have people that work towards a goal. So to help my servers out, I will add that option to put in the tip. Sometimes it's used, sometimes it's not, but I don't know. I can't see using you're going in, you're picking something up, you're swiping it, you're buying it, and now it's asking you for
No, that's outrageous.
Yeah.
Am I tipping myself in that case? What? Like,
Well, we were at
Who-
Hard Rock the other night, and I felt bad because it used to be 15% was a good tip.
yes.
Now
Mhm.
20% is like,
Yeah.
And I felt bad because it was a server we knew, and I was in a hurry getting out or whatever. We were just leaving, and I'm like 20%. Then as I was walking out, I'm like, I probably should have left a better tip. But 20% is apparently, average these days. So these places where you're doing nothing.
Oh no,
and now they're wanting you to tip.
No, it's ridiculous. In general, I hate tipping culture.
Yep.
Hate it. And so to hear that, that's outrageous. Do you know who's doing that?
It's nationwide. It's like it was on one of the news agencies that it's now a fad.
Well, we went to
Oh
that
my
cookie
God.
store last night, and we
Yeah,
did the
yeah.
self-checkout. It gives you a tip option, but I tipped like $1
But at
per
least
cookie
then
because we got
somebody's
two.
making your cookies. Somebody's
Hold
putting
on,
it in your
but
hands. I mean, somebody's
the
behind
cookie you got had no toppings on it
Well,
at
it's a
all.
chocolate
And then the
chip
cookie that I
Somebody
got,
made it.
they like half-assed it, and I was like, fuck that.
Well, somebody made it. Somebody's behind the counter. Like there's a team back there working. I can at least visually put
Yeah,
my
but-
eyeballs on it.
Where do you draw the line? There's a team working everywhere.
And it's not like they're
Yeah,
making
but-
like waitress like hourly wages. They're making minimum wage or whatever the agreed amount is. It's not like, they're living off the tips.
Well, I mean, years ago, there was a different group of servers that you tipped. You tipped people at a restaurant. For some reason, they tipped like delivery drivers. You deliver flowers or something, you had to tip the delivery driver. Like, that was weird because you're getting a delivery. You don't have money on you sometimes.
Right.
You had to tip like
Well-
like an usher at a ball game. Like, they show you to your seat. You got to give them $2.
I've never done that.
Mm-mm.
What about chambermaids at the hotel?
What about going to a bar for a concert and there's a lady in there, she's squirting soap in your hand so that she gives you a buck or you give
What
her a
about
buck?
the
Oh.
Asian massage parlors? They're like $10 each. So, I mean, I get some tips. I just don't. I don't know.
Well,
Well, they
Automation-
even have at the cigar place that I go to, I won't name it, when you buy just cigars and nobody helped you, you walk over to the humidor, you pull your
Well,
cigar
but
out,
that-
and they literally like tip on the car. And I'm like, okay, I'll give you a
Well,
couple bucks, but you didn't do anything but
But
cash
that's-
me out.
Usually that's okay. They're going to cut your cigar and light it for you, that kind of thing. But those guys, I mean,
But they don't. And then they still look at you like, no tip.
That's what your paycheck is for.
Yeah, no, all tipping should be abolished.
I don't get tipped in my job.
And we're starting to proliferate it around the globe because of people traveling more. You're starting to see it seep into other cultures that never tipped.
mhm.
We're like imposing our culture on these other countries, and it's terrible. Tipping sucks.
Some of these,
if we're gonna continue to proliferate tipping, don't be surprised when my email signature has a Venmo link in it.
Right.
You're like, I just fixed this problem for you. Here's my
Just
link.
put- I mean,
Send me a tip.
we have a Cash
just the
App
tip.
tag on our podcast link. So I mean,
You do?
Yeah, on Twitter and on
Oh, shit.
a couple of the new.
Send us tips,
on the social
people.
media, Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
need
don't-
new clothes.
I actually had somebody send me
Just
a
kidding.
request for money once through the same link. They had, like send me $100.
Nice.
It was
Can you
$100.
tell who it was?
No, well, they
Oh.
probably had their name. I don't know.
That's awesome.
I guess you could. I just didn't. Obviously, I closed it out and fucking.
I was going to say,
scammers.
was it like scam or was it like a funny friend that was like, send me money, bitch?
No, but GoFundMe used to not. They have strict policies on you can't raise money for people who are looking for criminal defense.
Right.
Oh, you mentioned that, yeah.
So now there's a new one. What's the new one that they just started? Look it up, Garby. You've got Google on. It's something.
It's the
Go.
GoFundMe for criminal defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's the one that the Reilly or Neely guy. They're $2 million raised,
Mm-hmm.
but they're allowing it, which I think that's good. I think criminal defense is important, and obviously we know people who are in the challenged with a criminal hearing, the paid attorneys do better for them. So
But people in the description say it's for my criminal defense. They don't say,
Right.
"Oh, I have cancer and I need chemo treatment," and then they go and they commit a crime or they've already done it and they need an attorney. They're saying what it's for, so it's not like they're.
but GoFundMe just doesn't allow it.
Right.
GoFundMe just does not allow it.
I'm just saying it's not like fraudulent if they're not lying about what the funds are going to. If people want to
Yeah,
give them
but-
money, then let them give them money. Why not?
So I found this one, Go Get Funding.
That's no.
This one says go raise money for legal fees. Go get funding.
Go get funding.
Gogetfunding.com.
I think that's like loans.
Yeah, I remember something was it was like I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, so they've got one that's open for that now, so that's good. So how do you pronounce this guy's name, Greg? Ja Morant?
Ja Morant, yeah.
Suspended again for waving a gun in a car. He did this before, apparently.
He's a genius. Bona fide genius.
Yeah. So
I'm like a really smart person.
Yeah, there you hey, you should read the Trump quotes.
Like
That's not
a
bad.
really smart person.
yeah. So
Yeah, that's
good job.
why
And
why?
even all of his fellow teammates and peers are like, dude, you're a fucking moron.
Yeah. What other conclusion is there to draw from that? I mean, you got in trouble for that once already. You are a multimillionaire in your early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you can do to screw this up is be a fucking moron. And he's doing it.
Wave a gun while you're driving
And
a
he
car.
is doing it.
I don't even think he was driving. I think he was just a passenger.
Yes.
I mean, it's just.
Who do
I
you,
think
like,
people with that much money just sometimes realize they
They
think they're
feel-
untouchable.
yep.
And
Right.
I don't care what happens.
Yep.
But he got in trouble for it before, right? That's
Yeah.
why they went ahead
Yeah.
and suspended him because it wasn't his first warning.
correct.
Correct. So I don't know.
So it's not like he can say, I'm untouchable because he did it before. And they're like, listen, you have a warning.
Well, they didn't do anything before, so what the fuck are they gonna do now?
They got to tell him he did it wrong first.
Since he's suspended, I think we should all go to his Instagram account and leave him a tip.
He needs money now.
He does.
So Weird Al
Yankovic.
versus Paul McCartney. Laura, what's going on with that?
Well, I don't necessarily think it was versus Paul McCartney.
Well, it
but
is because they're in a battle. They're in a heated battle. I
This
think
was a
Weird
while
Al's
ago.
gonna pop a cap.
No, I just heard that Weird Al had reached out to Paul McCartney to do one of his spoof songs, "To Live and Let Die," and it was going to be called "Chicken Pot Pie."
And you know it'd be so great.
Oh, it would be amazing.
His
But-
songs are just fantastic.
Paul McCartney declined because he said that it promotes eating chicken, and
So
he's
stupid.
vegan and is not okay with it.
I mean, I can
So-
hear it right now. Chicken pot pie. Bam, bam. Oh, that's what Guns N' Roses. He let Guns N' Roses do it.
Chicken pot pie.
Dinner, 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 dinner. Are there any other lyrics in that song? Chicken pot pie.
That's what I was just trying to think of. What it is.
I'm like, huh. We gotta come to feathers.
Yeah. How does that go? So,
There's something to it. I
Yeah.
don't know. We'll play.
You would probably remember the Weird Al lyrics before
Oh.
you would remember the
in a
original ones.
heartbeat. In a
So
heartbeat.
do you think he went and wrote the whole song and then
Probably.
reached out for
Probably,
permission?
yeah.
yes, probably.
Or do you think he just said, "Let me get permission first before I
No.
spend the time"?
I bet he
producing"?
did it, produced it, sent it to him, and like,
So
what do you think?
Right.
So there's probably an underground version of that, like released.
I'm gonna make
somewhere.
one myself.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
we should. Let's do it.
Fuck that. But yeah, I'm sure there is somewhere. I mean, I'm sure he did it and sent it to him.
I
You
mean,
think- you
most of his songs, like the artists don't get upset about it. They're usually flattered that you chose their song.
It's probably because he reaches out because he needs to use their
Oh, yeah,
their
he-
track,
yeah.
so he has
Permission.
to get permission anyway.
Well,
so he
that's
reaches
the way-
out and
I mean, they could redo them in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
That's not the big deal. They don't have to like use. They got to use like the
the
they
beat.
get the beat
Yeah.
and the
Right.
official notes. But yeah, I mean, Paul McCartney owns all of Michael Jackson's stuff, right?
No, it was the other way.
Right.
Michael
Michael Jackson,
Jackson had-
owned the Beatles.
He had owned the Beatles, but now
Oh.
but that's gone now. They
Yeah.
Well,
he
yeah.
sold back like half of it, I think, or something. It's
No, I thought Weird Al was still using Michael Jackson stuff, which was owned by McCartney, and who knows, like a little truple of musicians.
Do you think a Weird Al should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Of course,
100%.
Yeah,
of course.
It's-
I mean,
how's it not already the case?
I mean, Santa went crazy.
What's the rule for that?
there's no rules. It's
Right.
literally the most stupidest fucking deal in the world. Like
Yeah.
literally, I mean, I don't even want to get started on that shit. Man. So many
Because
people.
not on the pamphlet.
For one, it's not on the pamphlet.
Yeah.
But two, it's literally nobody in rock and roll gets in the Rock and Roll Hall. It just needs to
No.
be called the
Music
the Music Hall of
Yep.
Fame, and just
Yep.
let it go. It's fucking so stupid.
Yep.
All right, so we'll cover it just because it's the big news now. The Durham report is basically saying that all these allegations that were involving Trump from 2020 to 19 and all this bullshit with Hillary in 16, all that shit was fake. So let me ask you this, Laura, because I know you're not a Trump fan. Does it change your opinion at all? Like, let's go back. Think about like when you were like before you met me, when you were just a little girl.
Did you like go to the local like junior high, like surfing for like 12-year-olds?
Well, I'm just trying
Is
to
that
think
how you
because
picked him up?
no, but here's why I'm thinking this, okay? Because
Who
people before Trump
Hey, little
entered
girl.
Politics,
That was his
people
pickup line.
liked him as an entertainer. I mean, a businessman. He would get on there. He drew attention. He drew crowds. Whatever. Obviously, he wasn't up there giving an hour-long speech, so people would pick it apart. But
I was annoyed
people
with,
respected
"You fired.
him.
You fired."
Okay, and again, I mean, yeah, he had a show that was his catchphrase. I'm sure he was told to do that by a producer. That but that was his thing. Like, but back then, Jesse Jackson respected him, hung out with him. Al Sharpton hung out with him, respected him. All the black community respected him. And then in a heartbeat, something happened where it was like change of tides, racist, we hate him. And then all these stories came out. And I'm just trying to figure out like how much of that was the collusion and the stories being told from all this bullshit. And I'll be honest with you. I didn't vote for Trump, but I also didn't vote for Hillary, and I didn't vote for Biden. So I'm just
You
saying,
wrote yourself in.
I put myself in. But
Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
I also see an issue when, I mean, if the FBI is assisting with coming up with all these fucking stories and spreading them, and FBI agents are working at Twitter headquarters, like squashing the fucking Post, and I mean, it's just so. I mean, it goes so far. Like, I'm just curious, like, how does it affect the people who their opinion was based on all that fake information and all that news? Like, does it affect you at all?
I was more shocked when you told me that the story about a prostitute pissing on him was a lie.
Right, that was fake, but that was like the biggest. If you look up, and they did this the other day. I mean, they were showing every journalist that used that term in a broadcast. It was like 50 of them, one in a row, and it was just so convenient to say on air that it was used over and over again.
I mean, I think that, sure, my opinion has changed slightly, but it still hasn't changed to the point where I would vote for him. There's still enough information that's out there about him that makes me not like him, just to say that this portion of it wasn't true.
Okay, so you don't want to vote for him because you don't like him.
I don't believe in anything.
I
don't believe in anything that like in his policies that he enacted. Like I just don't.
But I don't think you understand the policies, honestly. Like, if I say, okay, let's go get dinner, and we leave for dinner, I'm like, no, you have to stay here because I'm buying our neighbors a $40 steak, and I'm going to go have my $40 steak because I have to give half my money to the people who we don't know. I mean, that's kind of the mentality you're accepting as, what you're saying. If you don't like the policies, you're wanting them to steal my money as a capitalist, as somebody that owns a business, and now I have to give somebody else my money.
You're talking about one policy. But remember, we've had this conversation.
You're saying you're going to vote for a person who doesn't agree with. It's either one or the other. I mean, I know you're not voting for DeSantis, so no. I mean, it's like, okay, so what's the options?
So we've had this conversation before, especially when it comes time for election year and all that other stuff. So I'm very much middle of the line, but I will side Democratic. I will side with inclusivity. I will side with people who side with the LGBTQ community and people's rights as like humans, as opposed to.
But that's another fallacy.
We're making sure that.
What did Trump do against the LGBTQ community? He had one on. He had.
Don't forget the IA plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem.
That's the problem. Is he had nothing to do or nothing negative about the LGBTQ. Say it for me.
LGBTQIA plus.
Not just that, but like so much of the Trump hates women because of that. It's clip from that at the Entertainment Tonight when he was in the bus with
Access
Billy
Hollywood.
Bush, Access Hollywood, whatever it was. When there's a women's march because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Before he'd even taken office.
But he doesn't hate them. He really loves them.
Yeah,
nobody loves
asinine.
women more than
It
he
was
does.
Asinine.
But
nobody has more respect for women. Trust me, believe me, I know. No one has more respect for women than he does.
I mean, I don't love the guy, but I'm not drawn to hate him based on rumors that have been spread. So, I mean,
See, I'm a little opposite because I think he could have been a good president because I think some of his policies could have been really effective, except his personality
He's a buffoon.
and himself got in his own way.
but it was also the
That's what I
Democrats and the
You know, he used to be a Democrat.
right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Didn't
Yeah.
Charlie Crist, and then he switched, and then he went somewhere else. Now he's independent,
Trust me,
and whoever it was in Florida.
There was in the early 2000s and even the 90s, you had the Democrats and even like the punk scene and all these people who were like underground always demanding, oh, we need to get somebody in office that's not a politician. We need to get somebody in the office that isn't, bought out by the people, by the the norms. And so that was their deal. But then when they got it,
No, he did.
he's not a politician.
No,
And
a
that's
lot,
what you get when you don't have a politician in the office. You get somebody that doesn't know how to speak, and
Right.
not to say he doesn't know how to speak. He speaks it, just he comes off completely not scrubbed like a fucking politician.
Can I respond to you countering where I said he's never said anything about the LGBTQ community? When I said I'm down the line, but I will side with people who have, women's rights, LGBTQ rights, all that other stuff. That's more the Democratic side, the liberal side. I will side. I'm very much down the middle. There's a lot of things on the Republican side that I agree with. There's a lot more, there's a lot on the Democratic side as well. But if I'm on the fence 50-50, I will always side Democratic because they are more so on the human rights side as opposed to the,
what is
whatever. So
we can have this
it's not
conversation for
necessarily
2 hours.
Trump. It's
think
just the Republicans as a whole
there's
taking
nothing
away.
that the Republicans have done.
Wait,
that
what did
is
we say
not
about
human
talking
rights.
over everyone tonight? Yeah, I'm talking and you're talking over me.
You're telling me that
Don't try and have a political conversation and then try and cut me off by talking over me.
But you're going into this human rights thing, and the only reason Trump was thrown under the bus for human rights is the border. And
You asked me
Biden's-
how I felt about Trump,
how
and I
Biden's
said
doing the
just
same
because
thing.
I know that this information is not true, that doesn't mean that I like the guy now or that my opinion of him has changed for the positive. I still view him on a negative side, maybe a little less, but it doesn't change my opinion of him as a politician, non-politician.
Laura, I think this is an easy get out of jail free card for you. Anytime you don't want to have sex, just start talking about Trump. And you can just shut that down fast.
I don't know. That gets me going.
I was gonna say.
right? I know.
It's like instant fight. Nope, got a headache.
You just want to smack a booby.
It's like
No, I just think it's funny. I mean, again, I'm not a huge Trump fan. I'm just to me, it's interesting to see how people react to news and how they react to people, just the whole fucking thing. It's like, I think all politicians are crooks. The fucking whole system's set up to
agreed.
all have us fucking
Agreed.
eating off their fucking
Yes.
hands. The more we're divided, the more we're going to fucking, the more they can do what they want because we're not paying attention to them. We're too busy fighting amongst ourselves. I mean,
No, democracy at its face is good, but there are so many things we need to overhaul. Like
yeah.
the fact that these people can be career politicians.
Yeah. Term
You
limits,
can't tell-
definitely.
You can't tell me
For
some
sure.
90-year-old woman
Feinstein.
who's well, yeah.
She's in a wheelchair right now,
Yeah.
and they won't let her walk around the grounds unescorted
right.
because she might say something and doesn't remember what she's talking
Right.
about.
You can't tell me somebody like that or somebody that's been making 180 grand, 200 grand for their entire lives, living a different life. That they are.
They come out
Representative of me.
They come out.
They're
billionaires.
rich. Yeah, they're already rich, and
Yeah.
then they have this cake salary that they're just
And
working 8 months a year.
The best
for.
thing ever that AOC has done is now she's wanting to put a law in that prevents politicians from investing. In,
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
That's interesting, but
No
We'll
one ever
see.
will, but I'm waiting for one of the politicians to kind of like presidents have terms. You can only have
Yes.
2-term elections. Why can't the House
It's
and the
how-
Senate and all that other stuff
It
be
comes
the
up
same
occa-
exact way?
It comes up occasionally, but
Who's
there are
voting
too
on
many.
it?
Yeah, there's
Who's
yeah,
voting on
they
it? They
all
are.
need-
Right, no one's gonna
there's
take away their
chance.
paycheck.
There's no chance.
Yeah.
And then you have another thing, like you have imposed retirement ages in almost every industry.
hmm
But our president, it can be mid 70s,
80s.
80s. How is that?
Yep.
How are we doing this?
Yep. All right. So what beer are we tasting, Joe?
This is Angry Chair Brewing, and it is a local Tampa brewery, and it is called Space Grass.
Should I just try yours and then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now
You
you're
wanna
not going to
Hold
like
it
it.
up to the camera there.
Joe's got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm a
okay.
little
Yeah.
further away. But
Here, you can hold up
a
yours.
little closer.
Space
It's
grass.
got like a little
Here, maybe I
skull
can
on
do it.
there.
I'll take pictures and post it during the edited version. So yeah, interesting.
I know you guys are kind of partial to some
Garvey's trying
IPAs,
it.
so it looked
I mean,
interesting.
I'm not a huge IPA fan, but I'll,
What do you think,
I'll
Garvey?
drink one.
For an IPA, there's not much bite.
No, maybe I'll like it then.
Yeah, you probably will. Yeah, it's tasty. It's flavorful. It's good.
Let Joe try it.
Just got shit everywhere. We don't have any napkins up here. do we?
Nope. Use
Yeah.
your shirt. Oh, there, over there.
I like it. I think it's sweet. Tastes good.
Like sweet isn't good, or sweet isn't like sweet.
Sweet as in good. Like it's not really
Nice.
sweet, but I mean, it does have the typical IPA kind of flavor to it, and it only got a little bit of that bitterness. But I think you might like it.
Okay, hang on. Let me try it.
Go ahead.
No. Put his camera on first,
Mm-hmm.
so we have to see him drinking.
I mean, it tastes like an IPA to me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like you could probably put 5 IPAs in front of me,
Let me
and
see.
they're just gonna taste the same.
I don't really drink enough beer to know. Oh, that's an IPA flavor, but let's give
You
it a go.
can tell an IPA. Like,
Oh my god, I smelled it when I was mid gulp. Oh my god, no.
So
Oh my god, get it off
I
me.
guess that's
Oh, that is
how
so
we feel
bad.
about that. All right, so I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10 on my end.
I give it a -6 out of 10.
that averages at a 0.
Yep. Mhm.
Woo.
Joe, what do you give it?
I'm not an IPA fan in general, but as far as IPA goes, I give it a 6 or a 7.
Blech.
Okay, we're gonna be right back. We're gonna take a pee break. Enjoy the tunes. We'll be right back.
Mute 'em.
Are we muted?
Nice.
Screaming like an eagle with a bloody broken smile. Just scratch or as maybe we can go the extra mile. Live, I'm gonna fly high. I'm gonna live fast. I'm gonna run the sky. Yeah, with the rebel yell and electric eye straight out of hell. I'm living by the sword, little mama. I'm running with the wind, little mama. Live. I'm gonna fly high. I'm gonna live fast. I'm gonna run the sky. Yeah.
All right, y'all, we are back. And in the news, I guess I should start this over because my edited version can't have that song in it. So,
There you go.
news anchor fired for calling his co-anchor a cunt. Justified or not?
I didn't see the clip, so I don't know what led up to the name calling, but I think that cunt is probably one of the worst things that you can call somebody. So if it wasn't like the worst thing she could have done in her life, then it was probably uncalled for.
Well,
I-
he was not on the air anymore, and I think he was just walking around the studio.
Correct.
And I think he took his mic off, but he got picked up on another mic like in the area.
Yeah, he wasn't live.
So I just want you to want to frame it that he didn't like call it to her directly,
Okay.
and it wasn't like she was on the air and he was like mumbling under his breath or something like that. That didn't happen.
So he was just, locker room talking with his friends,
Yeah.
saying that cunt I should have grabbed her by the pussy.
Maybe, maybe.
And it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's certain communities where cunt's a common term for women. I mean, I don't know.
No, it's become. Where can you say whatever you want? Nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
So if we go off camera here and I was like, man, Joe's a fucking dick, or am I calling Joe a dick because our 4 million viewers are listening, or is it just between me, Joe, and Laura and Garby? I mean,
An insult to dicks.
I know it is. honestly.
But that brings me to my one point. You should play a song that you're not allowed to play.
I have,
Think of how that's a chance to go viral.
but I do, and they,
Imagine if like
bro, every time we do an episode, we get flagged copyright violation.
by YouTube, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, but they also have those algorithms set up for YouTube videos and probably Facebook too, where if you are using someone else's music, they'll flag it, and then if you monetize at all for that video, it goes to the artist, right?
Right.
Oh my God, let's play Metallica every show. They will come after. We will go viral. For
Yeah.
that.
So
I know.
there was
Let's do
I
it.
was actually listening to NPR one night. It was like a Friday night. I was on my way home from work. It was on the radio, and they were actually telling a
Can you tell me
story
how
about-
fast you were driving?
I don't know,
5 miles an hour.
but I'm saying
It's either
No.
5 or like 130.
But I mean, I don't sit at home and listen to NPR. I'm just saying it would happen.
I would
to
have
be
seen
on
him
the
doing
radio.
like a $130, just swerving in and out of the fucking traffic.
The-
In today's news,
the
Prime
story.
Minister Mr. Fosh has agreed to provide loans to Pakistan. Joe's like,
So the story was
heard
literally
that.
about what you guys were just talking about, that program that YouTube uses to go and flag it, and then the artist can go and claim the monetization. But in that article, they actually had a clip that if you're teaching someone how to play guitar and they pick up on the chords, that gets flagged. So the clip that they were using was actually Jason Stallworth's intro to his
Oh,
YouTube
really?
video. So I heard that and I was like, "Oh shit, Jason, you're on radio."
Let's
So I,
go.
I sent him a message and he's like, "Dude, I didn't even know." Like,
Yeah,
they didn't.
they
we-
violated
So
his
he- I know,
violation.
Right.
he's the
exactly.
same.
They
He
lit-
got double penetrated.
they literally lifted his YouTube video of him teaching. So the intro says, if you want to learn to play, metal guitarist, and this is what you should do. This video is for you. And I heard that, and I was like, I know that. I watched the video before.
Yeah.
And I called him up, and he's like, yeah, I didn't even know about that. He's like, they lifted his video without his permission to talk about
Lifting a video.
musicians using music without permission.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's funny.
That's like inception of radio.
Mhm.
Yeah. So he actually, I think he reached out to the guy to like, hey, that's my video, but I don't know if he ever heard back from him.
I mean, he's got his royalties, and he's going to pay his royalties to whoever. Do
Including tip.
you remember what song it was? Was it like a
No,
Metallica song?
it wasn't a song. It was the intro to his video. It said,
Oh, so it was a
literally,
song he
it was-
wrote.
it
and
was-
then-
Right.
well, because they were talking about that even people teaching musicians or like doing a educational video
Mhm.
gets flagged because you play.
I
the
can't imagine
chord.
them not reaching out to him to use it.
He swears they didn't reach out to him.
Hmm.
And I know his voice. I mean, you could clearly
yeah.
know that
Oh,
that's
sure.
him.
Right.
And it says if if you're new to playing metal guitar and you want to learn to be a better guitarist, then this is the video for you.
Okay.
I can send
He's
you the
gonna
link if
be
you're
on-
interested in reading it.
Sure. So he's going to be on the show Thursday,
Oh, cool.
May 18th.
That's this
Like
week.
in 2 days?
Yeah.
2 days.
Okay, glad I don't have.
Look at
plans?
that. A special.
I'll be here.
Special show on a Thursday.
Yep.
I won't be
And
here.
It'll be the guys from Siren. It'll be Doug Lee and then Ed. I forget Ed's last name. Sorry. So they're from Siren, a band that they've been around forever, but we'll get into that Thursday. They just had a tour to Germany a while back, and so they're kind of rebranding after being out of the game for a while. And Chris Jericho did a documentary on them, and it's got like tons of views, like 150,000
I'm
views
sure.
on YouTube. So they're doing well.
Have them
Chris
have
Jericho
them
likes to
bring-
think he's a metal musician too.
Have them bring Jericho on.
I
Step
may
by
actually
step,
really
Garvey.
enjoy
Step
that.
by step.
I
Garvey.
may actually enjoy that.
We'll have Snoop Dogg, Jericho, and Martha Stewart.
And Martha Stewart.
All painting each other.
I mean, the more I drink this, the more I can deal with it. But honestly, it just tastes like every IPA I've ever had.
It's so
It's-
gross.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as bitter as your typical IPA,
I'm just surprised
but it's definitely an IPA.
the alcohol percentage is not on here anywhere.
Joe found it. He says 5.5.
I think so. It's something
Oh,
like that.
yep.
Because I had gone to the website because I was sharing the link with someone earlier just to show them like what we bought, and I think it was like 5.7 or something like that.
It's probably hidden in the logo somewhere.
Probably. Check the skull.
It
Yeah.
says AC.
But I
for
like the
Angry
art.
Chair.
I like the can. I like the artwork. I like the way it's presented. It's just
It's very metal.
it is very metal. Looks like a Forbidden album.
It looks like witchcraft to me.
So Logan Paul apparently has videos of aliens.
I'll believe it when I see it.
That's every show he does. He's an alien.
True.
This is like he says he's holding it for specific purposes.
Are we talking about like at the southern border, or are we talking about like outer space aliens?
Yeah, outer space.
No, because he could be just baiting us.
It's true.
He's yeah.
He says he got it from somebody that sent it to him.
So he didn't even get it himself. It could have been a fake made
let
up
me
video.
call him right now and find out.
You just
You probably could find his information online.
just strap a GoPro to one of
You know
Elon
how we
Musk's
get-
rockets.
A lot of views is Garby. You challenge Logan Paul to, or is it Jake or Logan? Who's the
think
one that fights?
They both
boxer?
do.
No, they both do. Okay,
Yeah.
which one do you want to fight?
Wait, there are two?
Yeah, they're brothers.
Yeah,
They're-
they're brothers.
Oh God.
They're brothers.
All we have to do is have Garby challenge one
There
to
you
the
go.
fight, and then we
Do it.
because that was the thing me and Mike were talking about when we first started the podcast. Is he had a thing with Joe Rogan, and we
He
were trying
did.
to blow that up and
He had
like
a
make
thing
it
with Joe Rogan.
like he was always calling Joe Rogan a dick and an
Uh-huh.
asshole, and we were trying to pump that up. And so every episode, I would tag Joe Rogan.
How did that
So,
go?
Obviously, he's not here.
Yeah. I'm sure that's not the first time he's been tagged in somebody's little podcast.
What was your tagline? We're better than Joe
Joe
Rogan,
Rogan.
but not as good as Jerry Springer.
Yep, better than Joe Rogan, but not as good as Jerry Springer.
Nice.
Which there's a slot now to take over Jerry Springer.
Because he had more
just
strippers
saying.
on the show. He had
we
a lot
can do
more
a Who's Your
strippers.
Baby's Daddy episode.
That's
True.
Maury Povich.
Jerry Springer didn't do any of those.
I'm
No,
sure he did, but
sort of.
that's Maury was known for that.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, that's
you are
Maury's
not the
thing.
father.
The DNA test.
Is Maury still alive?
Yep.
Yeah. Still
He's
But he
married.
just retired, right? I think it was like last year was like his last show. Like very recent.
I don't know that much.
Neither do I. Okay.
I knew he's married to Connie Chung, right?
He is.
Oh, he still is.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
93.
She could do a sports.
She probably still looks like she's 35 though.
Well,
Yeah.
that doesn't count. She's Asian.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Let's find out how old Connie Chung is.
What was it Rasa saying? Asians don't raisin.
That's true. Well, Rossi's 73.
Right. Exactly. We're not sure if it's her or her mom visiting.
she's in the latest Sports Illustrated right next to Martha Stewart.
Connie Chung is going to be 77 in August.
Dang.
And she looks 53.
Yeah.
All my childhood ladies are in their 70s and 80s now. I'm thinking like Gail Sierens, which was a Tampa-based news anchor.
Kelly Ring is another one.
Kelly Ring. Yeah.
You were a Gail Sierens thing? You had a Gail Sierens thing?
Yeah, back in the day, in the late 80s, she was
Oh,
hot.
maybe, yeah.
She was hot. Yeah, she kind of had that Meg Ryan look, you know.
Mm.
Speaking of which, Meg Ryan, I don't know what the fuck happened to her.
Oh, I heard, yeah.
First of all, she did not look
I
like
didn't
Meg
see that.
Ryan, but
Gail Sierens, I mean, she had that 80s vibe. Is all I'm
Well,
saying.
because it was in the 80s. And they were on
know,
TV,
that's
so
what
they
I'm
had to have
saying.
that look.
Like big hair and shoulder pads or what?
Yes.
No. You look up a picture of Gail Sierens in 1988 and Meg Ryan, and they're probably going to the same sorority. Like you could tell they fit in together. Like
So were you thinking of Gail Sierens when you used that first condom that you saved?
no, because she was totally different aspects. We were listening to Def Leppard. She was Italian. We were hiding from her grandmother and her mom in a 2-bedroom house
With the door open.
with the door open.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk
Yeah,
about that.
Hiding typically works better if the door's closed.
No, because she said if the door was
They would
closed,
immediately
they would have
suspect
known
something, yeah.
there was somebody in the room.
Yeah.
But then years later, I found out her mom actually knew that I was in there, but didn't want to give the grandmother a heart attack, so she just pretended like she didn't know. It's a long story. I'm going to go into detail when she gets here, and
I mean, that's pretty much
Oh,
the
she's
story.
one of them that's coming?
Yeah.
The first condom
She's one of
girl?
the exes.
yeah, she's going to be coming
Wow.
to the show. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we're still friends. She ignored me for the 18 years she was married, and then when she got divorced, of course, she reached out to me as a friend. Just saying.
Mm.
That was kind of like your first wife, too.
Hmm?
She ignored you while she was in a relationship because
No.
you said you had to. Or you had to.
Yeah, his own marriage doesn't count.
Yeah, no, that doesn't count.
She ignored you while you were married to her?
Yes.
No, afterward. After, like, I'm saying
Sure.
girlfriends. Like, when she got married again.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, no. Was that the girlfriend or the... I don't even know.
it gets
So
confusing.
So many. I'm losing track.
There's 2 wives, a fiance, and then some in between.
And the one that sticks around got neither.
Mm.
What? What's
Well, you
this
could be a
sticking
future-
around thing?
You
Drinking
could
with
be
your
a future ex-girlfriend if you wish
I
to.
know.
That's
It's
true.
like,
I
come
mean,
on.
Things you aspire
true.
to.
Drinking with your wedding. June. What's a Tuesday? in
Drinking
June?
with
Darby,
I don't.
aren't you a registered minister
Yes.
like,
yes,
of
I
the
am.
First National Church of
Yes.
the Internet or something?
Of the Silicon Valley Bank.
I mean, I'm a notary. She's a notary. I mean, we
Okay, so
There you go, you
let's
can marry-
do this.
There you go.
can't
Let's
marry
just
each
do
other,
this
though.
here.
Oh,
Right. Can't marry each other.
I mean,
Oh, that just means we can't marry each other.
and you want to marry Joe? I mean, well,
No, I'm good. That would be illegal.
do we really know he's married though? And he lives with some
I'm
lady.
pretty sure Chrissy would know.
I have the marriage certificate.
I mean, those are forged all the time. I don't know.
True. True.
I mean, okay. I mean, do you really want to get married? I mean,
I mean,
Was that
is that the proposal?
the best?
That's why I'm not putting the camera on
You
me.
dreamed of.
You don't want to see my face.
That's your dream proposal.
Okay.
I mean, I know I've seen 17-year-olds get a better promposal than that.
Seriously.
yeah. Well, they at least get promise rings.
There you go.
It's true.
Yeah.
You see, Laura, there is 3 rings to the relationship. There's
Tell me,
the
Joe.
engagement ring,
Mm-hmm.
the wedding ring,
Mm-hmm.
and the supper ring.
Mm-hmm.
So you just skip 1 and 2 and straight to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At least you can walk away anytime. No government paperwork. No attorney fees. No nothing. She just takes my TV and
Take
walks
the
out the door.
TV and go.
That's all she has to do.
A
That's all
fish-
she wants,
a
really, is
fish
the
tank.
TV. She bitches about that fucking TV all the time. So.
And
Well,
Okay.
if you had a brand new fucking TV that was only a few months old and you gave it away, that wasn't even yours to give away, and then it never came back to you, yeah, you'd be pissed off too.
So to the
And
guy,
a Roku.
to the guy who has the TV,
You
you're
know who you are.
When you're done using it, bring it back.
He's one of my employees.
When he's done using it, bring it back.
I think he broke it. I don't know.
Well, it wouldn't be surprising considering the reason why he needed to borrow mine in the first
Just
place.
take it out of his paycheck if he's your employee.
He would just keep it, the money. He wouldn't give it to me to go buy another TV.
If he gave you the money for it, would you go buy another TV now or no?
No. Because I would just take his if I left.
I mean, flat screens TVs are cheap now. I
You
mean,
know,
that's,
we
that's
talk
so
about all
worth.
these relationship issues. I don't know if I want to be on the show anymore.
I know.
It's too personal.
I think Carassa has her own show called "Keeping It Not Personal."
Keeping it up personal.
Yeah, exactly. With good camera and lighting.
Want to see my feet?
Under the covers and fully covered.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We're in for an hour and 17.
Go
including-
us.
Hey,
including the
117.
intros.
I was gonna, that's the pee break too.
It is P break and intros. So you know.
Yeah, we're about an hour then.
So Thursday we have Jason Stallworth with members of Siren in the show, and gonna do a little, probably an hour in the studio then. And any last rants or anything? I have a rant about Sam's Club. They need to put a parking lot or a traffic light behind their parking lot. But besides that, I'm fed up. I went to go get our pizza for the show, and I sat there for fucking 10 minutes. But yeah, okay.
Anybody else?
Not a rant, but I'm going to see Medieval Times this week
Sweet. Wait, is it Thursday?
on Thursday. Yeah,
Oh, you're
Okay,
going
so
there.
I'm gonna have to
That's
go.
your anniversary, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
10 years married.
Okay. Well, you're gonna be across the street for some of the day, and then you can come
Just
over
to
here
take
for
care
a
of my
little
dog.
Yeah, so I'll take care of her. Okay, yeah, we can discuss the logistics after we stop recording.
bit. All right, I'm gonna go have a cigar. Everybody, peace out. We'll see you Thursday. Drinking with Drew. God, I sounded drunk.
You so
Drunk with Drew.
Let me try it again. Drinking with Drew.
Can you walk a straight line?
No, probably not. No. Instagram, Twitter, social medias, Facebooks, all that good stuff.
YouTube's,
Drinkingwithdrew.com.
Spotify's.
You can find all of our old archived videos. Drinkingwithdrew.com. We'll be back Thursday. Do a quick show. We're going to go see Voivod tomorrow. Maybe we'll do a video there. Maybe we get an interview.
Yes.
I'll do a pre-show video with Georgie later to tell everybody what's on the show.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Peace out.